Hi, everybody, and welcome back to SunBurst Tarot. Or if you're new here, welcome. So what we're going to be doing here today is we're going to be doing a reading on Amberlyn Reed, Foodie Beauty, Girl World, just in general. So I want to take a look. Something came across my feed today, and Amber ALR has gotten a community guideline strike for her most recent video, and where a lot of people in the community are like, "Are we going to be seeing more of these? Is Foodie Beauty going to be seeing more of these? Well, how is it that Amber's now getting a community guideline strike versus Foodie Beauty, who is both kind of violates a lot of the terms of service of things? So what I wanted to take a look into is, how does YouTube really feel about these two? And the community in general, and kind of the different camps that are here. So without further ado, just a quick reminder before I get into it. Just remember, everything that I'm saying is all alleged and for entertainment purposes only. No facts here, y'all. Just my opinion, psychic downloads, and the such. So if you want to use what I'm saying to help form your own thoughts, opinions, and conclusions, please do so. If you don't want to, you don't have to. So let's just take a look here. First and initially, how does the YouTube platform look at Girl World in general? Queen of Wands reversed. Why do I feel this isn't... This is for Chantal, not for the Girl World. So fine. If Chantal energy wants to come on, how do they feel about Chantal? Again, Queen of Wands energy reversed. This is giving me like, we know yet you're a problem child. You are a problem. You're kind of a you're a capital BITCH with an exclamation point under after it, who's now becoming pretty stingy. Like, we're feeling pretty stingy when it comes to Foodie. You're being stingy. You are kind of taking money out of our pockets and putting it into yours. Yeah. And there's also a heartbreak here with Foodie and her content, in my opinion. Just because with that Three of Swords, hello, I gotta shadow this. But the Three of Swords here, it's like you're kind of breaking a lot of our agreements, contracts, what our platform is, and the money making ability, and things like we were you give, we give, and everything. However, hopes and fears, they want to keep maintaining this relationship with Foodie. Don't ask me why. Knight of Pentacles upright. It's like you've been long term, successful, steady in us, making money all around. However, the unseen obstacles, the Five of Pentacles reversed. Money is going somewhere else. Foodie has money going in other places, to other, away from YouTube. And I think that's the big thing for them, is that we know your money, YouTube isn't stupid. However, it's like Foodie's money is not coming to the YouTube platform. Not. It's not you're scratching my back to scratch yours, because the negative influence here, Foodie's trying to do some loopholes in her own way to not bring money to the platform anymore. She's trying to keep it more in her pocket rather than in the platform's pocket. So what's going for her, though, is the Ten of Wands. So she's a burden worth carrying at the current moment. That's how YouTube is kind of seeing her. It's like, you're a burden worth carrying because you do make us money. You make us a lot of money. Not just, not, and this is how I look at it. Foodie doesn't make them money in her channel per se. She makes money in her name, her presence, and the way that the community follows her like a bad, like an ex who just can't get over, themselves, who can't get over the person anymore. And it's like everyone like wants to consume content on her, or there's a large community that's going to consume content on her, whether that's through reaction channels, documentaries, or the such. Her name carries money behind it, whether that's in super chats, views, watch hours, or the such. Her name just does. YouTube likes that. However, there's a lot of money now going off of YouTube, and super chats aren't being sent through the platform anymore. They're being sent through other means, backroom alleys. Because here in the past, yeah, the Seven of Wands, it's like, yeah, we'll let you get away with things. We know what you're kind of doing, but we'll let you get away with it. But here in the future, we are kind of falling out of love. I don't know if Foodie better change something, in my opinion, because it feels like the love that YouTube had for the creator of Foodie Beauty is no longer. We aren't in love with you. You aren't bringing us money to the platform. You aren't even bringing us, you're just kind of, you're becoming more of a problem than anything else. So these double streams that she's allegedly doing, where she streams on one platform and then does a stream on another one, I don't think that's going to be going so hot. She's going to, I don't know if YouTube's going to like playing this game anymore. Because I do believe that they are probably onto her games, but we will see. I'm seeing them not liking her though. Ace of Cups reverse. Ooh, ooh, ooh. All right, let's take a look. How are they feeling about Amber Lynn Reed at this current moment? I mean, ALR still has a large following. She herself, her channel has a lot of views still. There's still people making content, but this is a community guideline strike. So now I am very intrigued to see how is YouTube feeling about Amber at this current moment. Like, how are they feeling about her? Two of Pentacles. We're balancing our options here. It's like we have one option, option A, option B of what we can do. Why is this? Ooh. Because the Nine of Cups. You just aren't scratching the itch for us anymore. I don't know what's going on with Amber's community versus like Foodie's community. I know Foodie's community, super chats are flying all over the place. Multiple reaction channels, multiple things. Amber's community might have more watch hours, but they don't have more super chats. They don't have more additional income coming into the platform rather than say like through ads. So when we're looking at it in like a business sense from YouTube's perspective, super chats are actually more valuable than say ad revenue or watch time. And the reason why I say that is because ads are always going to be on videos. That's kind of like guaranteed money from YouTube. If we're going to look at it, it's like, I'm going to pay you X amount of dollars to run these amounts of ads for us. Super chats, on the other hand, I almost look as like they're an additional form of income that is more valuable than, say, watch hours. And the reason for that is because super chats, super thanks, and all of that lead to a much higher like return on investment for like a community, which is why Foodie's community is like such like is so weird. There's a lot of money. Like think of it as like a sales commission. That's how I would describe super chats in like the YouTube services. So it's like you can have a video and you're going to always get that consistent base salary. But then if you can really sell yourself and you get all these additional super chats coming in, that's your commission on top of it. Your commission from YouTube. And YouTube likes commissions. They like being able to give extra additional sales to essentially their company. And so like Amber's community doesn't have such a high level of super chats, even amongst her name as well. So YouTube just doesn't look at someone's channel. They look at the gross of like a name's presence. Foodie Beauty might not make that much money, but the people covering her make a shit ton of money from super chats, aka commissions. Amber, her community is pretty much like they're all running on a base salary when it comes to like views, essentially. And like her community doesn't have a ton like people who cover her. I think the biggest one is probably Olordi Edge Jordy, who gets a lot of super chats. But otherwise, a lot of other people in the community, when it comes to Foodie, or not comes to Foodie, when it comes to Amber, don't do big live streams. Don't do like the super chats or the such like that. Much smaller in essentially commissions based around ALR's name versus Foodie Beauty's name, which is a big indicator for platforms such as YouTube. All right. Because from, financial influences, material influences here with the Four of Wands reversed, you're just not cutting it anymore, honey. You aren't, your home base is kind of like falling flat. We kind of don't want to be with you anymore. I don't know what was going on over there. I don't know who is not a big fan of ALR anymore on staff, but someone or like the institution of YouTube is kind of like, we're kind of just not vibing with your content anymore, Amber. Because the unseen obstacle, or the negative hopes and fears here. Knight of Pentacles reversed. You're kind of just stuck. You aren't doing anything. There's no evolution. There's no money being brought in. You're devolving. You aren't evolving in the way that we want your platform to. Like, your name before could have, like, it was known all over. Documentaries. People want to talk about you. People want to do videos on you. People will click on those. No one's really doing a lot of that anymore. I mean, there's the Mr. Snowflake stuff, but otherwise, when's the last time you heard of an ALR documentary out there? When's the last time you were hearing about her outside of the Amberverse, pretty much? Where, like, Foodie seems to be having a little bit, people are starting to really take notice of her. And we're having people from outside the community now starting to talk about her name. But also now that's starting to die down as well. Because the hunting obstacle here, 10 of Wands, she's a burden not worth carrying anymore. We want to let go. I think Amber herself wants to let go of the burden of YouTube in some ways. But there's also, YouTube is like, we need to let you go. We do not want to carry you or this burden around anymore. It's almost like you're a liability now. Instead of an asset, you're turning into a liability. As a negative influence here is the Fool. We've been foolish. We've kind of just let you run amok, doing what you want to do. But the positive influence here is the Knight of Cups reverse, which is someone's been trying to gaslight or manipulate their way through their content, and kind of it's been working up to this point. Looking here in the past, we have the Three of Wands, which is like trying to manifest, bring new forth this content, push new things. However, here in the future, I am seeing a complete transformation of how YouTube is working with ALR's content. And the such, just because it's like, we need you to either change, it's shit or get off the pot. Is essentially how YouTube is kind of feeling. Like, we need you to change, honey. The ALR content needs to change, because it's not ALR's channel that needs to grow. It is the community around her that needs to grow. It is her name needing to have money attached to it for them to be like, you're not a problem, you're an asset. Currently, Foodie is doing okay. However, her community is just known to taking a shit ton of super chats. It's just how that is. I mean, she makes a ton of super chats, so that's a big commission from YouTube. And that's not just, and again, I'm looking at it, and it's not just Foodie's channel, it's the channels that surround her that make the difference. So, one thing, I want to take a look at, why are they actually looked at so differently? And I think it's because of the communities that surround them, to be 100% honest. Just from a business perspective, ALR is a walking, like, and don't get me wrong, so is Foodie, but they're both walking TOS violations. Like, they are more problems than assets. I don't think that there's, like, I don't know what else to say other than currently Foodie is being propped up, it feels like, by her community of Shantopolis around her, and a lot of that is due to the amount of super chats that are going into community, into the channels that surround her. ALR, I know of a lot of people who have stopped covering her. Not a lot of live streams. And again, it's sure they get a lot of views, but it's not about the views for ALR anymore. It's about, now I think they're going to a more super chat based thing, where it's like, come on now, give us our extra commission here. That's what we need you to do. And if you aren't going to do that, then sure, you can have a community or channel around you, but you're a bigger problem than what others can be. So what's the future, essentially, of ALR's channel in regards to YouTube and their feelings? What does that future kind of look like there? If she kind of maintains if she maintains her current trajectory, essentially, being boring, not having, like, evolved content, putting effort into it, and still talking about her struggles when it comes to food and the such, and monetizing that. So what does the future, if Amber does not change her content, what does that look like from YouTube? Six of Wands reversed. Okay. Why is this the Queen of Cups? Okay, so what I'm getting here is what's the kind of the future here? We're going to make an example out of Amberlynn Reed's channel because this is what it was in the past, here's what it was in the present, and here's what it is in the future. It's very much the Maiden, the Witch, the Crone. And we're going to be making an example out of her channel. We want to make an example of what you should or should not do, and the such. Because, yeah, we just don't want to work with you anymore. If Amber does not change, she will have probably her channel either demonetized or terminated. There's an example wanting to be set with her channel of we don't allow this anymore. Because we're looking to go in a new direction, hopes and fears with the Two of Wands upright. Is like we're looking to go in a new direction. We're going to leave this flaming pile of stuff here in the past, and we're going to now go towards the future with new content creators, new ways of doing things, new rules. Yep, because the unseen obstacle here, we're moving, we're changing. The old way of doing things, you can't keep doing it. YouTube is also changing as a platform, and I think wants to really hone down on specific rules, specific things, because, yeah, some people have been pretty slothful. You've made a lot of money from us, Miss Reed. It's now time for us to kind of maybe go separate ways. You've done all that you can. Unless you've changed, we just cannot support this anymore. Because, again, this is a financial decision. It's like, we're trying to balance you here, but you got to help us out. Because here in the past, yeah, Nine of Cups. Emotionally not fulfilled. There's a lot of questions. And this is another weird thing. I don't know what's going on underneath her channel. If there's like issues on the back end with things. I don't know who she's been talking to from a YouTube manager perspective, but she's gotten warnings before. She's gotten many warnings before from a YouTube manager, and she has not heeded them. Because here in the future, yeah, you're becoming stuck in your ways. We will not move forward with you. We are going to make an example out of your channel. So, as somebody who Girl World, ALR was the first person I knew of in Girl World, and if she does not change, if she does not evolve, if she keeps doing her same old song and dance, and keeps talking about certain things that she should not be talking about and monetizing, especially her Eat With Me videos, I would say she's going to have her channel either terminated or demonetized completely. Because they want to make an example out of her, in my opinion. Just seeing here. So, what's kind of the future for Foodie? Beauty's channel, though, if Foodie kind of maintains her current trajectory, which is turning into an adult fun time channel for specific adult fun time kinks, which I'm sure YouTube has to be well aware of at this point. However, if the current trajectory is kept for Miss Foodie, how is YouTube going to start feeling about her channel? Because they already kind of see, yeah, you're taking money away from us. Like, you're using different platforms. But what's kind of the future of Foodie's channel if she kind of maintains the current course that she's kind of going on? The new start. It's going to be a new start, a new channel, new portals. Boy. Because why is this? The Sun, we are very unhappy with you. They might boot Foodie off as well. Or they're like, you have to take this to a different portal. You have to take this to a different platform. We aren't going to support this because we're very, very unhappy with the seedy things that are kind of going on with you. Because from a material sense, the Page of Swords, there's a lot of lies, there's a lot of deceit, there's a lot of deception, but there's also contracts broken. I see this as spoken words, you're putting your foot in your mouth, and the such. Our hopes and fears here is they do want to keep Foodie around, I think, just for the sheer fact of her community and the amount of essential super chats that come in, because that's a higher payback rate than, say, like an ad for them. They just like the money that she brings in. However, where Amber is now, Foodie will be. Where Amber currently is in this Do we, don't we? Do we, don't we? You're going to have to balance things out. Foodie is kind of going to be put in that same spot where it's going to be like, should we, shouldn't we? Should we, shouldn't we? What are we going to do with her? Because it's like she's bringing in some money, but not the amount of money that she used to. There's also a sense here for Miss Foodie, and how is YouTube feeling about her currently? They don't know all the facts. With the Magician reversed here, it's kind of like we don't know all the facts of what's going on. I don't think they keep as close of an eye on Foodie's channel just due to the fact of she's a smaller content creator than Amber subscriber count. However, there's because Foodie hides things a little bit easier, a little bit more than Amber does, sadly. However, the what's going for YouTube, it looks like here, Chantal's going to put her foot in her mouth. And there's going to be, I think, evidence of, like, we can't actually, like, there's going to be a point of, like, we can't actually ignore this anymore. And that's kind of what is coming to, it feels like, for YouTube, where YouTube is going to be like, okay, we're to a point where we can't ignore this. It's kind of blatant. It's to a point where we can't say, oh, we don't know. They cannot say plausible deniability. It's going to be pretty damn obvious, because here in the past, like, we can transform, think of different ways, but yeah, they're going to be losing money when it comes to Miss Foodie. The community's kind of going away around her. It seems like the commissions are going way down. People won't be covering her. Her name isn't going to generate excitement, or the such, but with the Wheel of Fortune reversed here as well, it is giving me the sense of this tree will get cut down. The tree's going to get cut down. The resources are not going to be here anymore, as well. So for if Amber or Foodie watches this video, if y'all keep maintaining the same course that you're on, YouTube is going to, I think, give the axe to both of you. At this rate, Amber will be the example. Foodie will be the one that's dealt with quietly. Maybe with Foodie, it'll be more of like, we're going to demonetize your entire platform. And with Amber, it's going to be like, we're terminating your channel. But that's what I'm kind of seeing here when it comes to the minds of YouTube, and the such. Again, I'm not going to be an advocate for deplatforming. However, if you're breaking the rules set by the provider or the portal, or the website that you're using, then you have, and that's very sad. But there's a lot of things going on right now, and the such, and I don't want to see someone's only form of income taken away, because it sucks and it's hurtful, and it's very stressful. However, you got to listen to the rules just the same as we all have to listen to the rules. So with that, that's what I have. Thank you so very much for watching. If you would like to book a personal reading with me or join YouTube members, you can do so using the links down below. Otherwise, if you want to like, comment, subscribe, let me know your own thoughts, opinions, conclusions down below. Please let me. I would love to hear yours. Otherwise, thank you again so very much for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next one. So bye.